Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. So, sorry that I have not uploaded this for quite a while actually now. The reason for that is that during the month of August I was needing to wait until I could replace my graphics card because towards the end of July it started exhibiting some symptoms that seemed to indicate that it was dying. But then just sort of the past couple weeks have either been busy with classes or I just haven't been able to record that week for other reasons. But now that is no longer an issue, so I can get back to recording now. So let's go ahead and get started. So we were last time in the future-proof arc, yes. Going to be doing Time and Tide.
We have been contacted by the Federation from the 29th century. Their Temporal Integrity Commission is charged with protecting the timeline from factions who might want to change history. Considering our recent experiences, we feel the need to better understand the rules of time travel. However, it's important we don't know too much about the future, so we have decided to designate one representative to learn what we need to know. Given your record, you were the logical choice. You are to rendezvous with the USS Odin. Her captain will give you a more thorough briefing upon arrival.
Okay. And a bunch of Polaron related stuff. Oh, I never realized that gave you the USS Odin as an Admiralty hero ship. I'm probably gonna have to rerun this mission on my main. Let's just go ahead and transwarp over. And 1 second before I actually get started. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get started again.
Please report to the USS Odin.
It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm glad you were selected as your time's representative. I can't imagine a better selection. Of course, I already knew you were going to be chosen, but that doesn't change my appreciation. Your recent experiences with time travel have begun a new phase of development, and a perilous one at that. Understanding the rules of time travel is of vital importance.
Tell me about the Temporal Prime Directive.
Starfleet personnel are strictly forbidden from directly interfering with historical events and are required to maintain the timeline when possible. We're also restricted from revealing too much about the future. These principles have served Starfleet well. Now that the time travel genie is out of the bottle, it'll be hard to get it back in. The tech will spread through the galaxy, and species after species will learn the secrets of time.
I've seen that firsthand several times. Okay. Today you'll be going to the signing of the Temporal Accords. It's an honor you've earned as an agent, and I think it's important that you see for yourself what the work of the Alliance will lead to, and how important it is to future civilizations. Thank you. It's an honor.
Are you ready to visit the future?
Take me to the future.
Welcome to New Kittimer.
Here we are. Since you're from the past, I'll be your chaperone during the event, hopefully protecting you from any temporal incidents. Purely procedural, of course. You've already demonstrated your ability to remain silent about things you aren't supposed to know.
Acknowledged.
Welcome, gentle being, to the signing of the Temporal Accords. Your biosigns aren't listed on our register today. I'll need to... Wait. I know you. I wrote a paper about you in classical history class at the Academy. I must say, you look much younger than your holo images. Wait, what year did you come from?
Well, it's nice to know that we end up in history books. 2410.
Oh, that explains why you look so young. Well, you sure have an eventful future ahead of you. Forget I said that. I'm not supposed to say things like that. To be honest, I'm still getting used to the new temporal regulations. They can be a little confusing. Anyway, the TIC crews are scrubbing the hall for anything that might cause a paradox if visitors from the past, like yourself, encounter them. It will be just a few moments.
Very well.
Perhaps you would like to chat with some of our other guests here in the lobby. I believe they have all been cleared for trans-temporal interactions. I'm sure you'll have plenty to talk about.
Indeed, thank you. Philip Cray.
Greetings, friend. How may I help you?
Who are you?
Where do I start? I'm 157 years old. But that's only because I spent 90 years caught in a temporal distortion. Back then, I was serving as an ensign under Captain Bateson on the USS Bozeman. After that, integrating back into Starfleet was... difficult. So much had changed. Some of my shipmates joined temporal investigations. Their first-hand knowledge of past events was quite useful. Seemed like a way to make a difference. So that's where I ended up as well.
Why are you here?
Same reason as you, I'll imagine. To witness the signing of the Temporal Accords. Usually, temporal agents watch holo recordings of the event. But the three of us were given special dispensation to come and view the Accords personally. Perks for graduating at the top of the class, I suppose. Where do I... Pretty certain we haven't met until just now. Well, not yet, at least. I just graduated from the Academy as a temporal agent. That being said, it's quite possible that we will meet in the future. Well, my future. Tell you what, I'll try to act surprised when it happens.
I don't know why, under why are you here, the do you recognize me option wasn't there. Probably a minor slip up, a line of code missing somewhere. But whatever, that's all for now. Let's go and talk to the Nakul protester.
The Nakul are here to protest the signing of these unlawful, biased accords.
Why?
The Tholians ravaged our homeworld thanks to the Federation's ineptitude. In one dark moment, my people were scattered throughout the stars. All we were, our history, our way of life, was nearly lost. And when we needed the Federation the most, we were denied. Terrorists, they called us. Criminals, the dregs of the galaxy. These words, these deeds will never be forgotten or forgiven.
This is where you're onto a bit of an issue of, this is the first time it's ever mentioned that the Nakul requested help from the Federation. Which, I'll be honest, I find it somewhat weird, the idea that the Federation would go and deny them. Even if only partly because, well, yeah, we did sort of fuck up, and I just don't see what the reasoning would be. The Nakul seem to mostly have just sort of hung out around their homeworld for the most part previously, so there's not much reason for us to be accusing them of being criminals or terrorists. Some of them, certainly. But it just seems a little weird, to be honest. I feel like there probably should have been a couple extra missions or something to sort of explain why maybe we have that idea of them, but whatever. I'm not sure what the tragedy of the past has to do with today's events.
Today, the Federation and their lackeys come to tell the galaxy which timeline is best and what they'll do to keep it that way. But who are they to dictate such terms? To tell us that their history is more important than ours.
This doesn't sound like something you would really want to say as the Federation. Certainly true, but it's just probably not the best thing to say in this situation. Let's see. We'll go with a valid question and one worthy of debate.
Attention all guests. The main hall is now open. Please make your way to your seats.
And I see a bunch of people running around wearing the formal uniforms. Do I have mine? I do. Not that one. There we go. Get my dress uniform. I kind of forgot what it was called because some of my characters I do actually have it labeled as formal rather than dress uniform. Okay, let's talk to the Romulan observer.
Jolan True, you are from the past. From before the time the Romulans joined the Federation, I'll wager. How strange all of this must be for you. The entire galaxy unites in preserving the timeline. This is truly a momentous day for all.
Indeed it is. And Dominion observer.
I am honored by the Founders and pleased to observe this most historic event. Although the Dominion was not greatly affected by the development of time travel, we have an interest in safeguarding the time stream.
Well, accurate. Probably, not, again, not the best thing to say. That's good to hear. Okay, let's talk to the Deferi.
While the Accords promise to safeguard the time stream for us all, I can't help but ponder the opportunities for temporal abuse that will remain after they are signed. I fear great imbalance could occur, despite the very good intentions of all the signatories involved.
Enforce the Accords properly, and that won't be a problem. Okay, let's talk to the Breen.
Time travelers are cowards. The Breen conspiracy have us updating the present, rather than the memory of the past. The dream of the future.
I'm sure your support of the Accords is appreciated. And Tholians?
The Tholian Assembly has decided to support the Accords. We are concerned that a rogue individual or species could disrupt our development. The Accords do not go far enough. We want to end all time travel for any reason. We will continue to lobby for change aggressively. Should the Union fail to preserve the timeline, the Assembly will succeed by any means necessary. That is all.
It must be your friendly nature that got you selected as an ambassador. Okay, Zindi.
The Zindi are no strangers to temporal affairs. The tragic conflict with Earth in the 22nd century and our manipulation by the Sphere Builders are matters of deep shame for us all. We support the Accords with the hope that they will prevent such tragedies from this day forth.
Laws are one thing, the will to enforce them is another.
I must say, I am privileged to witness this historic event. Truly it is a singular honor. I'm humbled, as I'm sure you are as well.
Indeed, we'll be seeing history in the making today. I'm going to go and talk to the Orion Observer. I don't recall if you get to talk to everybody or not.
I am reminded of a quote from ancient Earth. And when Alexander saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
You know what? Fuck it. Alexander should have looked to the stars. Plenty there to conquer. Okay, yeah, you could talk to everybody else. It's an optional. We're gonna do that, though. I just wasn't sure, so let's go back to the... no, you know, we'll talk to the new cool guy last. Lucari.
Greetings. Pardon me for saying so, but You look very familiar. Have we met before? Wait, I remember you from my history studies. You saved our homeworld. There's a statue in your honor in the capital city on Lucari Prime. Oh, wait. That's already happened for you, right? Oh, good. Woo. Just my luck to cause a paradox here, today. Can you imagine?
I mean, I guess it's the future. I guess it could have already happened. It probably makes building statues of people a hell of a lot easier, so yeah, I guess it could have already been built. That would be a little awkward, yes. Ferengi?
These Accords are going to provide quite the opportunity for historical studies of economic matters. I hear the Grand Nagus is going to formally announce several new temporal rules of acquisition soon. I hope at least one of them covers going back in time to beat someone to a deal.
Hopefully in a way that prevents such activities.
Your uniform. 25th century, correct? You're definitely a visitor from the past, and an honored one at that. Welcome to the 28th century. I hope you'll enjoy seeing what your work and sacrifice has wrought.
I could have sworn we were contacted by Starfleet of the 29th century. Are we signing the Accords in the 28th century, but it was, for whatever reason, 29th century Starfleet that wanted to talk to... that? I don't know. That's just... I don't know why he says 28th. Well, Admiral Quinn said we were contacted by the 29th Century Federation. But whatever. Thank you for the honor. That is a little weird. I wonder if potentially somebody screwed up and it's just we can't be bothered to go back and fix it.
The Borg have a checkered past when it comes to time travel, particularly where the Federation is concerned. Thankfully, we've had the chance to make amends. The Cooperative is proud to be a part of today's proceedings.
I'm surprised everyone's going along on this, to be honest.
We Kabali are quite thankful to see the Accords go into effect. Many who disagree with our customs could be tempted to return to a point in time where those customs could be disrupted permanently.
No one here is without an enemy that would see them erased from time. Okay. Okay, and Nakul representative.
The Nakul are not here to sign these accords. We have already been victims of time-traveling aliens. But somehow this incursion into the timeline has been overlooked. Perhaps because of its importance to the founding of the Galactic Union. We proposed an amendment to restore our home world in the timeline, but it was rejected. Therefore we are here, with all eyes of the galaxy upon us, to point out the hypocrisy and unlawfulness of these accords.
I see. Okay, and Master of Ceremonies?
Well, one of our very special guests. It is so nice to meet you. I am Wixit, your humble Master of Ceremonies for this historic event. Quite an honor, wouldn't you say? So exciting! This ceremony is about to begin, so you should find your seat. But I'd love to chat with you after the signing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Delegates and honored guests, your attention please. The signing ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seats.
Representatives from dozens of species have gathered to witness this historic event. It looks like they are getting ready to begin the formal signing. Of course, this is largely ceremonial. The negotiation... Wait, there is some kind of disturbance.
This oppression will not stand. The time stream shall be free. We will liberate the galaxy from the tyranny of the Temporal Accords. We shall wipe the stain of the Federation from history.
Quick, get the delegates to safety. The Krenim are taking the delegates hostage. The Krenim have grabbed the delegates and are holding them hostage in some nearby offices. This is damn peculiar. We're facing a major temporal flux here. The hostiles have neutralized embassy security, but it looks like they weren't expecting us to be here. It's up to us to rescue the delegates.
Acknowledged.
Watch out! More Krenim beaming in!
Okay, take these guys out. Ouch.
More Krenim! Neutralize them as quickly as possible. We need to save those delegates.
We will, we will. I'm getting back in the shield.
The Krenim are holding us hostage in the embassy offices. Please, anyone, help!
And we'll help them, but first we need to get out of here. Also, you know what? Let's switch uniforms. Let's go to the excursion uniform.
The Krenim are holding us hostage, requesting immediate assistance.
Hang on, we're on our way.
Cooperate, and you won't
Jesus,
be
there's
harmed.
quite a few of them.
Resist, and your safety cannot be guaranteed.
Okay, we just talked to the Dominion guy.
I shall live to serve the Founders another day. My thanks to you, of course.
You're welcome. Get him out of there. Okay, that other security officer I think is supposed to technically be dead. But, you know, sometimes the game doesn't properly have people fall to the ground when they die. Okay, Lucari.
You saved my world, and now you saved me. I'm beginning to like you.
I don't know why, but the voice sounds like... I don't recall her name, but from Fallout 3, the lady who gives you the quest for the survival book to create it. I don't recall her name, but the voice just sounds so much like her. The feeling's mutual, Ambassador. Stay safe. Oh, did they decrease the beam size as well for ground weapons? Because it just feels like it's smaller. I know they decreased it for space, definitely. But I can't... But I don't believe they mentioned that if that applied to ground as well. But it definitely... I feel like it's smaller. And none of these endeavors that I have are probably going to get completed. They're not really good ones to be able to just get out of the way without some actual effort.
It was a good day to die for the Krenim.
Is he using a... Yes, he's using a little remote control TOS phaser for some reason, or at least that's what it looks like. Well said, Ambassador. Kapla. Ouch. Damn mines everywhere.
I My life path was at an end. My thanks for proving me wrong.
You're welcome.
This wasn't supposed to happen. History says the Accords were signed and there was no mention of an attack.
We should return to our ships and see if we can help with defensive efforts. Sure, let me just swap uniforms again. Beam up.
Those look like Krenim ships.
They only paid for those 5 lines. And they're attacking in force. We've got to stop them before they disrupt the timeline any further. Acknowledged.
This conference will not continue. I won't abide it. All ships, fire at will. Leave no survivors.
Why do you keep doing that? I do definitely like, though, that the decreased size of the beams. They also feel more screen accurate.
Wait!
I don't know why it took so long for them to do it, to be honest. Yes, and you don't mess with the USS Odin.
Not this time. This time you will not prevail. Taste the bitter dregs of failure.
Some random fucking 500 number. Or 800 number, excuse me. Okay, yeah, you were still doing phaser damage, I think. Okay, turn back around the other way. I mean, I guess I could have kept turning the first way, but it doesn't really matter. It still would have taken a while. This ship is not exactly a fast turner. Okay, sure, fly behind me. I'm just gonna broadside you from the other side.
The Nakul have used the Krenim attack as a cover to attack the temporal sensor array. All our forces are tied up fighting the Krenim. We can't afford to lose that array. It monitors the time stream for incursions. If it were damaged, people could travel into the past without being detected. Curious. The Krenim and Nakul vessels have started fighting each other in the confusion. Let's make the most of that, shall we?
Understood. Helm, set an intercept course. Just give me 1 second. I think this is actually a fairly nice spot to take a screenshot. And while conceivably I could attempt to actually play with render scale 2 and it would actually work, I'm not going to.
Ship is under attack.
Did that ship die because it disintegrated? As I was looking around, I was seeing the little marker to say, hey, there's enemies. Okay, let's go to the temporal sensor array. And we do have some defenses here. Well, had some defenses here.
got the Krenim on the run over here. Stay focused on the array.
The Nakul aren't exactly hard to fight, but they are annoying.
We've cleared out most of the Krenim ships. Engaging Anoraks now. The more the merrier.
Okay, we'll go ahead and help. And the Postok is already engaging them. Let's take out the little Krenim frigate. Which seems to have had some pretty decent evasion skills.
Noi. I seem to remember a little about him from my briefing on your timeline. He was a Krenim researcher on the Anorak's timeship project, if memory serves.
Yes, he helped us against the Iconians.
I thought as much. Something must have disturbed the timeline. I'm afraid you will need to return to your own time to investigate. I'll accompany you, but I can't interact with anybody from your time. I'll open a portal when you're ready. Are you ready now?
Sure, we're ready. Captain, engage. And this is going to be one of those longer loading screens.
You are cleared for docking.
Oh, okay, Supervisor Trala.
Welcome back to Kiana. We hadn't expected to see you again so soon. To what do we owe the pleasure?
I have some questions about Noya. Or Noi. Noi? I don't know, whatever.
Noi? Well, he's been working on some secret project of late. To be honest, he's been more than a little hostile. And that's saying something for Noi. I was about to check in with him, if you would like to accompany me.
Lead on, Supervisor. Now, I could have sworn there was a button for us to actually walk.
Oh, it's you. I thought I'd seen the last of you. What do you want? I'm very busy.
What are you working on?
Come now. You can read, can't you? Access my latest report to command if you want to know what I'm working on. Feel free to waste the time of the charming bureaucrat standing next to you. But I'll thank you to stop wasting mine. Now, if this interrogation is over, I've more important matters to attend to. Good day.
We're not done, Noi, and watch your tone.
Like I said, more than a little hostile. He's been like this for some time now, and no one's sure why.
We have reason to believe he may be plotting treason. Would it be possible to see what he was working on?
Treason? Noi? I mean, sure, he's been difficult to work with, but... Oh, I hope you're wrong. Noi has top-level access to everything we're working on here. I don't need to tell you how much damage that could do in the wrong hands. Let me call up his files.
Thank you, Supervisor.
He was working on the Anoraks. Wait a minute. It looks like he was accessing the launch protocols and docking clamp.
Oh shit.
Ah, I see you found my farewell gift, Trala. I'm so glad. As for you, I'm taking command of the Anoraks now. I can see that bothers you greatly. So will the numerous bombs I've left behind.
Okay. Disarm the bombs. Nobody... Well, a couple of people seem worried. Most of them kind of just seem to be running a little faster. Speed walking. And these two were placed, I think, a little too close to each other to have had any real effect. Okay, Supervisor Trala.
Noi stole the Anoraks? I can't believe it. How could he do such a thing? What drove him to betray us like this?
Maybe there's a clue in his personal logs.
There's only one way to find out. Computer, bring up the research notes and personal logs of researcher Noi. Authorization Trala 23, Victor 6 Sigma.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Please input your selection below.
Access log CJY043.
Personal log supplemental. We had some visitors from the Alliance today. Noi was rather rude to them, but I managed to smooth things over. This time. Still, he has good reason to be stressed. The war isn't going well, and there's a lot of pressure on him right now. He could be a bit more agreeable, however. Perhaps a peace offering. Those Terran snack cakes he's so fond of with the... What is the word? Nougat. I tried to tell him about the baby again last night, but he was so stressed out. I just couldn't add to his burden. Hopefully things will calm down a bit soon and I can tell him. On a positive note, my work is progressing quite well. I believe these logs should now be shielded from any kind of temporal incursion.
Return to root.
Please input your selection below.
And access log NDZ-078.
Personal log supplemental. My review of the time capsule files is complete. What I have learned has shocked me to the very core of my being. I had a wife, and she was pregnant. My wife and unborn child were murdered by the Federation and their allies. They devastated my people, murdered my family, and erased an entire species from time and space. I cannot let this stand. This I vow. I shall not rest until I have restored my family or avenged their deaths. Time itself shall be the instrument of my vengeance.
Please input your selection below.
And NDZ-187.
Personal log supplemental. At last I have found them. The Tutarians, or rather what they have become. Some of them managed to escape the treachery of the Federation, finding sanctuary in a trans-dimensional void. They are powerful. So powerful that some primitive species worship them like gods. And yet they are trapped in their realm, no longer able to exist within prime space. But I can help them. I can release them from Durance Vile. With these builders at my side, I shall have my vengeance for Clauda.
So the Tutarians become the sphere builders. Return to root.
Please input your selection below.
And download logs.
Download complete.
Log off.
What the? We're under attack!
Noi has returned, and he's made a number of potent modifications to his ship. We could use some help up here with him and his allies.
Beam up. Why do I feel like my comm badge is black? It's not supposed to be.
Waiting for this for a long time. At last, I take the first fateful steps upon my path of vengeance.
They'll be your last if you're not careful. Stand down.
As always, your thinking is so limited. For you, it has been moments. But for me, it has been years. Years of planning, building, all to return to this moment in time, to end you.
This doesn't have to happen, Noi.
Oh, but it does. Believe me. You took them from me. My wife, my unborn child. Time was your weapon then, and it is mine now. With it, I will eradicate your wretched alliance, just as you wiped the Tutarians from history. But first things first, it's time for you to die.
I don't think so. You're a scientist, not a starship captain. Give it up, now.
This is Walker. We've got our hands full with Noi over here, but we'll keep him busy while you defend the station. We could use a hand once it's secure, though. Anorax packs quite a punch.
Acknowledge, Postok. God. I don't know why the game loves to re-add the cruiser commands. It's in my bar here.
Noi is learning some new tricks. This definitely isn't the same Anorax we left a few minutes ago.
No, it's probably the same one that we fought previously over New Kittimer. Or potentially slight modifications to that one in particular. Damn it. Thing flew under the station, so I can't hit it. There we go. Now we can go and help deal with the Anorax. And get a bunch of crappy loot. But I'll take it anyway. I forgot to actually use my cruiser command. How many times are we going to chase him? This is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Admiral, we've been pulled into the time stream with the Anorax. We can't let her escape. Target her engineering section and disable the main drive. I don't know what that said. Sir, I have locked our heading. Trying to change direction while in temporal transit could be disastrous. Okay. Wonderful.
Oh, there you are. I thought we'd lost you. What happened to Noi?
He disrupted our warp field and made his escape in the chaos.
Damn. A rogue agent out there with a ship like the Anorax is a real big problem. One step at a time. Let's get you back to the 25th century once you're ready for the trip.
Okay, and they skipped over like a whole set of sentences. A rogue agent out there on a ship like the Anarax is a big enough problem, but I'm afraid the news gets worse. My science officer tells me that Noise ship is using sphere builder tech. Looks like they're back, and with a vengeance. We've got a lot of work to do, but let's take it one step at a time. Let's get back to 25th century once you're ready. Okay, now, depart system. Also, if he disrupted our warp field, shouldn't we have just basically been forced out of warp? Isn't that how that's supposed to generally work? When it gets disrupted, you get forced out?
So, Noi turned against us, huh? This is troublesome. With his theft of the Anarax, he poses a great threat to the galaxy. Sadly, I don't think we've seen the last of him. The surprise actions of the Nakul are also a concern. What could they be up to, I wonder? Regardless, I think you'll agree. The battlefield just got a lot bigger.
Well, I can tell you what the Nakul are up to. They want their homeworld back. And they're pissed. So, you know, if you help them, maybe they won't be as pissed. But that's entirely up to you. I mean, at least as a safety measure, I imagine that the ship computer generally tries to force you out of warp when your warp field gets knocked out. But I guess maybe there's an override option, but still. But that'll be it for this part. I will see you all next time. We will be doing the temporal front. We're sort of getting through these quickly. So yeah. So that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I will see you all next time. A quick reminder, I do a Patreon, so if you enjoyed the content of the channel and wish to help support the channel with a monthly donation, you can do so via my Patreon, link to it down in the description below. It helps the channel out. It allows me to be able to upgrade my computer whenever necessary. Or whenever, whenever it's necessary. It also enables me to be able to go and buy games and software, etc., whenever I have to go and actually buy them, which is more often than not the case. I'm not a big enough channel to be given games very often, even if I request them. But yeah, so that'll be it for this part. Like I said, I will see you all next time, but until then, a goodbye and farewell. And Jesus, this one's gonna take everything. There we go. I'll go and actually end the recording once I go ahead and fill those out. Okay, well, yeah, so until next time, goodbye and farewell.